This is the Marvel Legends series, Eddie Brock in the Monster Venom mold as Venom. We are Venom. Very cool, very nice. Let's get him out of packaging. And here is Venom out of packaging. The figure looks very familiar. That's because this is essentially just the Venom Build-A-Figure, the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure that was released years ago as a matte Gargan version. Now what they've done is they've remolded the plastic into this really nice matte black finish, put some gloss on it, put a little bit of blue highlights on some of the parts and some of his limbs, and gave it that Eddie Brock deco all over him. Now he's got this white patch of paint on his hands, much like how Eddie Brock was as Venom. Now, Eddie Brock was my favorite Venom, and right now, this is my favorite version of a Marvel Legends Venom. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that the Todd McFarlane Venom figure is probably the most accurate one to Eddie Brock with the head sculpt and all that. And some of those heads are not going to fit definitely on this one because this is a BAF head. But to me, this is Venom. This is the Venom I grew up reading in comic books. And if you're going to look out for this figure in terms of paint apps, if you're going to sift through several Venoms on the pegs, you just have to look out for the white paint apps. That is most commonly the source of quality control issues for Hasbro figures. The teeth look okay. They're an off-white beige paint and some red. That's fine. Eyes, amazingly, are painted very nicely. But it's the spider emblem that you should be looking out for. And most of the areas are okay. It's just that some figures more than others will have some imperfections, some jagged lines, some smudging here and there, and just make sure everything's acceptable, to say the least. But other than that, it's a great figure. If you enjoyed that whole Monster Bath figure back years ago, you're gonna love this figure because this has, I think, the superior paint apps. And yeah, this is how Eddie Brock Venom should look like in action figure form. Now, given preferences aside and all that, the question probably for a lot of collectors is there mold degradation? Well, sadly on this figure, it does suffer some quality issues. The head looks okay, torso ratchets okay, the feet, okay. The feet seem to be okay except for that one. But on my copy of the figure, this particular shoulder joint is loose. And this one's okay, it ratchets. And when you take the figure out, some assembly is required. This one is a separate piece and you'll have to pop it in like that. And this one, it's okay if you put it all the way in. If you insert it all the way in like that, it kind of still ratchets, but it just loosens up. And I'm guessing, I tried to look at it, it is a BAF figure, so it is easily removable. This area right here, there's a lot of chipping on that that ratchet, where the joint ratchets. There's a lot of chipping, and hence the joint. There's nothing wrong with this peg. It's all fine, but once you put it in, it'll stay okay. You can sort of feel it should be ratcheting, but it doesn't stay in that place, and it just loosens. And man, I am just so frustrated that I always get this bad luck of Hasbro figures. I mean, I always get the quality control issues. I always get that figure that has a quality control defect. For the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years of doing reviews of Hasbro products, I keep getting this crap. But I mean, other than that and that leg that popped off, everything seems to be fine. I mean, you know what? I've had it with Hasbro's quality issues, and oh my goodness, I hate Hasbro. The figure's great, but I hate Hasbro that they charge an arm and a leg in outside the US for these figures, and they give us this kind of crap